All right, gather round. Trigger pullers. If you've been navigating the world of readiness for any significant period, you've undoubtedly grasped a fundamental truth. Whatever becomes that item is precisely what disappears from retail first. Let's talk about the venerable 9mm Luger. It was the preferred choice for peace officers and everyday folks long before the recent global disruptions and supply chain chaos. But good heavens, over the past half-decade, those diminutive brass cartridges have become scarcer than hen's teeth on store shelves, vanishing faster than a politician's campaign promises post-election. Combine that with the soaring inflation we've all been grappling with, and the round once considered a godsend for the budget-minded shooter now carries a premium price tag. So, in this discussion, we are going to delve into what I perceive as a subtle yet persistent shift, one I predict will gain considerable traction through 2025, steering away from a 9mm towards a more recent contender. This newcomer offers increased magazine capacity, a gentler recoil impulse suitable for a broader range of shooters, from seasoned hands to novices, and boasts sufficient factory ammunition and reloading components to help you weather future ammunition shortages without undue stress. Now, let me be clear, the 9mm certainly retains its utility. No question. However, its very ubiquity has ironically become its vulnerability. When the supply infrastructure faltered back in 2020, those ammunition bins at major retailers were picked clean almost overnight. Bulk purchases that were once readily available for, say, 200 pesos per box in Manila firearms shops suddenly commanded prices exceeding 600 pesos, and even more through online vendors. Furthermore, the 9mm's Military Association makes it a convenient scapegoat for anti-firearm advocates and their legislative maneuvers. You rarely encounter state-level bills targeting, for instance, .30 caliber pistol cartridges, primarily because most legislators are unfamiliar with them. This entire situation has prompted the preparedness community to ponder some critical questions. Is there an alternative round that can deliver comparable terminal ballistics to the 9mm while offering advantages in other areas? We are considering reduced carry weight, greater ammunition density, diminished felt recoil, and a lighter impact on your finances. Well, the innovative minds at Federal Cartridge Company presented a solution in early 2022 with the 30 Super Carry. Instead of simply enlarging the bullet, they ingeniously refined the design, reducing its diameter to a trim 0.312 inches. They then elevated the chamber pressure to a robust 50,000 pounds per square inch, thereby achieving comparable 9mm muzzle energy, with a 100-grain projectile exiting a 3.5-inch barrel at approximately 1,250 feet per second. Ballistic gel evaluations demonstrated a consistent 12 inches of penetration in bare gelatin and over 15 inches through heavy clothing, with projectile expansion reaching nearly half an inch. That, my friends, is exemplary terminal performance. As for recoil, it's more of a rapid, distinct pop than a forceful shove, facilitating quicker follow-up shots. Because the 30 Super Carry cartridge is more slender, you can accommodate more rounds in a magazine. Consider a Smith & Wesson Shield EZ chambered for the 30 Super Carry. It accommodates 10+1 rounds. That very same firearm in 9mm? You're limited to 8+1. Advance to the Shield Plus Optics Ready variant, and your capacity escalates to 13+1 with a standard magazine, or an impressive 16+1 with an extended version. And the firearm still weighs in at a mere 19.3 ounces. That's akin to carrying a 380 ACP, but with the impact of a full power service cartridge. If you're equipping a family of 4 for concealed carry, that translates to an additional 8 rounds collectively available before anyone needs to reach for a spare magazine. Regarding ammunition storage, a container that holds, for example, 2,400 9mm rounds will comfortably house nearly 3,330 Super Carry rounds, all while reducing the weight of your go bag by about half a kilogram, without sacrificing any downrange energy. The firearms themselves truly illustrate the benefits. That Smith & Wesson Shield EZ, with its effortlessly manipulated slide and comfortable grip safety, remains an excellent choice for individuals with diminished hand strength or arthritis. Its manufacturer's suggested retail price is $519, and it can often be found for less. It's economical enough for vehicle storage, yet reliable enough for home defense. For shooters desiring cutting-edge features and higher capacity, the Shield Plus Optics Ready, typically retailing around $549, is prepped for your preferred miniature red dot sight, features tritium night sights, and incorporates a crisp, flat-faced trigger. Avidity Arms even offers their PD-10, a refined 1911-inspired pistol designed by Rob Pincus, holding 12 rounds of .30 Super Carry, with a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $625. That firearm is a tack driver, yielding consistent 3-inch groups at 15 yards. And here's something that'll raise eyebrows. Hi-Point. Yes, that Hi-Point has adapted their trustworthy 995 series carbine to the .30 Super Carry, dubbing it the 3095 model. These can be found in American stores for approximately $300 to $350. This provides a 16.5-inch threaded barrel and a platform that, despite its modest cost, is remarkably accurate. We are observing consistent 2-inch groupings at 50 yards. And that extended barrel truly enhances the .30 Super Carry's performance. Federal's 100-grain HST gains an additional 150 feet per second, and Remington's 100-grain ball ammunition increases by 235 feet per second. This transforms your pistol cartridge into effective varmint control, well beyond 75 yards. Now, affordability is always paramount for us preppers, and ammunition cost directly influences our range time. Federal currently markets 4 distinct .30 Super Carry loads. Their Champion Training 90-grain full metal jacket achieves 1,300 feet per second and retails for about $33.99 per box of 50, which is roughly 67 cents per round, squarely within the current price range for brass-case 9mm ammunition. Remington provides comparable options. Reloaders, prepare to be pleased. Hodgdon offers a wealth of data, over 50 recipes encompassing all popular powders for bullet weights ranging from 71 to 115 grains. And note this, the projectiles utilize the identical .312-inch diameter found in the 32 H&R Magnum, the 327 Federal Magnum, and the 32 ACP. Consequently, a vast array of bullet molds and choices already available. You can cast a 100-grain round nose and concoct a soft recoiling practice load for mere pennies. For long-term preservation, the .30 Super Carry also excels. An ammunition container designed for 500 rounds of 9mm will easily accommodate 600 rounds of .30 Super Carry, with capacity to spare. These savings in weight and volume accumulate rapidly. Product availability was once a point of apprehension, but by mid-2023, cases of .30 Super Carry were readily stocked alongside 9mm in major retail outlets. When one distributor offered a clearance sale on remanufactured 9mm, they replenished their inventory with new .30 Super Carry the following week, because Federal's production lines possess surplus capacity, while European 9mm imports face delays. Reduced market competition often translates to easier acquisition. To address the concern of it becoming an obscure caliber, astute preppers incorporate redundancy. Consider a shield for a spouse or an elderly family member, a Shield Plus for your everyday carry, the Avidity Arms PD-10 for bedside duty, and a Hi-Point carbine for situations requiring extended range. When you compare these firearms directly with their 9mm equivalents, the merits of the .30 Super Carry become quite apparent. The EZ model's slide operates with remarkable smoothness. The Shield Plus boasts that excellent trigger, and the red dot remains remarkably stable due to the milder recoil. The PD-10 feels like a familiar companion, and the Hi-Point carbine's recoil is almost akin to a .22 long rifle. Cost-wise, let's crunch some numbers. A Shield Plus optics ready can be had for around $549, compared to a Glock 19 Gen 5, which typically runs closer to $630. Magazine costs are comparable when factoring in capacity. Factory ammunition prices are nearly identical. Hand-loading .30 Super Carry might cost a few cents more per round than 9mm, but the weight reduction allows you to carry more ammunition for the same perceived load. Over 10,000 rounds, the cost variance amounts to a couple of upscale dinners. I'd forego a steak for an additional 2,000 rounds any day. And for those who argue, but law enforcement isn't adopting it. Recall the era when police agencies were stanchly committed to the .40 Smith & Wesson, right up until advancements in bullet technology revitalized the 9mm for duty use. Official adoption invariably trails innovation. We preppers don't need to await committee approval. If a system functions reliably, feeds dependably, and performs effectively, it justifies its inclusion. The .30 Super Carry achieves all this and is lighter. It even performs well with suppressors. Attach a suppressor to that carbine, and it's impressively quiet. Politically, it's less likely to attract negative attention. It's not a NATO round. There's no alarmist rhetoric about armor-piercing capabilities. It simply operates discreetly. So, what's the takeaway for the dedicated 9mm enthusiast? Retain your current inventory. Redundancy is prudent. I'm not advocating for discarding your 9mm. I'm proposing the addition of another tool to your arsenal, one that can lighten your carry load, enhance your capacity, and offer an alternative when the supply chain for your primary caliber falters. 2 is 1, and 1 is none. Correct? Relying solely on a single caliber is a significant risk in uncertain times. Diversification is a wise strategy. And currently, the 30 Super Carry appears to be a very astute addition. Here's my challenge to you. The next time you visit the range, if they have a Shield Plus chambered in 30 Super Carry available for rental, give it a try. Load it, run your drills, and assess how it feels. Then, repeat the process with your preferred 9mm. Compare them. Once the dust settles, ask yourself if adhering to the established standard is worth forfeiting those advantages. I'm eager to hear your thoughts.